Hey guys, it's Jeb here, and this video is not going to be like one I've ever done, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it, but this is something that I felt needed to be covered. As you've seen from the title, in this video we're going to be talking about suicide in Bitcoin, and because this is a very serious topic, one that I take extremely seriously and has affected me personally in the past, we're not going to be running any ads on this video. There will not be any affiliate links or sales links in the description. The only link in the description will be a link to a suicide prevention hotline. If you're feeling like you're concerned that you may do something or that someone else may do something, please click that link. The reason I want to make this video is because in yesterday's live stream that we started around 7 o'clock in the afternoon, I saw something that kind of scared me. And to clarify, no one took their life. There was no evidence of that. That's not what happened. I want to be very clear. I do not believe that happened. But something that did happen scared me, and I won't be naming any names, and I very much ask you and encourage you not to go back and try to find the live stream to go and find out who I'm talking about, because for their personal sake, I will not be using anything that they said other than this one tidbit, and I won't be using their name. Someone on Bitfinex last night lost about $10,000 on a trade, and they weren't really sure how it happened. Now, I don't know what happened there. It looks like something may have happened with a stop loss, or Bitfinex may have glitched out and they lost their money. Point is, they lost about 1 Bitcoin, and to them, that seemed like a very large amount of money. Now guys, I'm not going to get into it too much in this video because this is going up public, this is on the internet, I'm somewhat of a public figure at this point and it doesn't need to be out there, especially for the sake of the privacy of people, but I've dealt with suicide with other people in my personal life in the past. I've never had anyone close to me take their own life, but I've had people come very close. It's something I take extremely seriously, and it's something that to my knowledge has never been discussed by even a moderately sized YouTube channel here in the cryptocurrency space, so we're going to be discussing it today. If anyone in the comment section of this video says anything negative towards people that have depression or feel like taking their own life, or anyone that may have made a major mistake in cryptocurrency and they feel like that may have led them to do something drastic like this, you'll be hidden from the channel and you'll never be allowed to comment on one of my videos ever again. I hope I make myself crystal clear on that. Now, in this video, and especially after what happened last night with this person losing that much money, is not the time to be telling people that they need to grow up, or they need to be an adult, or they need to make less mistakes in the future, or they need to learn from their own mistakes. All of that is true. This is the last time to be saying that. You don't criticize people who are in that kind of mental state. You wait until they're healthy and you then help them to make sure that it doesn't happen again. So guys, with that said, I want to read you a story about someone who killed themselves in the cryptocurrency space, just to prove to you that this isn't just something that I'm saying. This happens. I know that a lot of people unfortunately took their own lives after the all-time high in 2017. Up here, Bitcoin ran to $20,000, as you guys know, and it crashed very quickly. Now, I personally wasn't too scared. In fact, I didn't really panic at all because I don't plan on selling my Bitcoin for a long time, and I think that's the way that everybody should be. At the end of this video, for those of you who can take it, I'm going to try and give you some advice on how to go about entering this market and how to trade these markets so that you don't get emotional on these markets. If you don't want to watch that portion of the video, I completely understand. That's why it's going to be at the end of the video. But this is a very real topic. It's something that happens, and it's something that needs to be brought to light. It's something that people need to be aware of, because just because it's happening on the internet doesn't mean it can't happen to someone around you. I can tell you that from personal experience. Suicide is something that can affect all of us. So let's go ahead and read this story. My brother killed himself because of Bitcoin. I don't really know where to post this, but I feel like I need to vent. Don't take this as criticism of Bitcoin, blockchain technology, or cryptocurrency users and developers. It's not. There are probably other factors that led to my brother's suicide, but he had been beating himself up over Bitcoin for the past several years to the point where he seemed constantly depressed over it and gradually became a shadow of his former happy self. He claimed to have owned 15,000 Bitcoin at one point, which nowadays would be worth many millions of dollars, which may have been an exaggeration, but I know for a fact that at some point around October to November of 2012, he did have at least 6,000 Bitcoin, which he showed me in his wallets. He was so enthusiastic about Bitcoin and how cryptocurrencies would revolutionize the financial world. For a while, he was annoying the piss out of me over relatives about how it would make them millionaires. I'm not exactly sure what happened to his Bitcoin. Sometime in 2013, he claimed to have lost most of them in a hack and sold the remainder too early. He very well may have sold them all too early, but who knows? As the price took off in late 2013/early 14, you could tell he was distraught over it and had become increasingly withdrawn from his family and friends. Whenever I did manage to contact him, he would sometimes end up ranting about how badly he had effed up and how he would never have the chance to become rich again. As the price climbed to over $10,000 over the past several months, it became even more difficult to make contact with him. He just wouldn't reply to my parents' calls or texts. A couple weeks ago, my parents flew out to see my brother and found him dead by suicide with no note. He was 29 years old with 50 years of his life ahead of him. Other than the obvious grief, I don't really know how to feel about this. If I had missed out on $50 million, I might have killed myself too, he says. I can't imagine what my brother must have been feeling these past several years, knowing he missed his best and easiest shot at the wealthy life he had always fantasized about. Bitcoin totally effed up his mindset to the point where you couldn't talk about anything related to investing, money, or finances without him storming off or crying. If there's any more of you in a similar situation, feel free to PM me. Please try to recognize there are endless economic opportunities in life, and one mistake doesn't define your future. There are family and friends who care about you and will listen. Guys, Bitcoin is one of the biggest opportunities of our lifetime. There are massive gains to be made in this market. Bitcoin will rally thousands of % more before it tops out. I am fully confident on that. I've been analyzing these markets every single day for the past 2 years. I am fully confident that that's going to happen. But the problem is that most people in this space, unfortunately, are not pro traders. Unfortunately, they're not going to make every decision right. And unfortunately, some people are going to make mistakes. Some people are going to buy up here at $20,000. Some people are going to buy at 14 and maybe Bitcoin goes to 2. Unfortunately, some people are going to sell low when they bought high. Or not even in Bitcoin. Maybe they'll be in an altcoin and that altcoin goes kaput. Maybe you put $100,000 in BitConnect and BitConnect died. The point is, where there's a lot of money to be made, there's also a lot of money to be lost. And as happened back on Black Tuesday in 1929, at the beginning of the Depression, people do, unfortunately, take their own lives when they have something that drastic happen financially. The point of making this video is to bring to light the dark side of what happens when Bitcoin crashes. Right now, I think Bitcoin's doing relatively well, but even when Bitcoin's going up, that can cause horrible things to happen for people that have been in the cryptocurrency market, as the person we just read about here, whose brother should have been enjoying himself on the way up to 2017 with the Bitcoin that he had left, but instead, knowing that he had missed out on tens of millions of dollars, simply couldn't take it. I want to start spreading an aura of compassion in the cryptocurrency space. I don't want people in my live stream berating someone because they've lost $10,000 when you have no idea what kind of mental state that person is in. That person just lost 10 grand. I don't know if he's a millionaire, a billionaire, or if that was his last dime. Point is, he was distraught about it, and not one of you know that person individually. You have no idea what he's going through, and that was the last time for any of you to be telling him that he should have done better and that he should have been an adult. And yes, I am getting upset because this is serious. This happens. This is real. I can tell you from personal experience that people come close, and unfortunately, sometimes people go all the way. Now, I am by no stretch of the imagination, I want to make myself very clear in this, saying that that person was suicidal. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that it scared me, the way that he was talking. And I will not have that kind of attitude happening in my live stream comments ever again. I want to make myself crystal clear on that. If you've lost a lot of money in the cryptocurrency market, if you have become distraught because of something in your personal life, maybe it doesn't have anything to do with crypto or finances, I would highly encourage you to talk to a therapist, talk to someone who knows what they're talking about when it comes to psychology. I would highly encourage you to reach out to your friends. I guarantee you, even if you feel like none of your friends care, they do. And if for some reason you think that none of your friends or family care about you, I don't know your circumstance, reach out to someone who you don't know. It's going to be hard, but let me tell you something. Whatever you're going through right now is probably a whole lot worse. If you're in that mindset and you're in the mindset that it should just end, it's probably a whole lot worse for you right now than the pain of reaching out to someone who you don't know. Reach out to a therapist, reach out to a psychiatrist, reach out to someone, reach out to a friend of a friend. I know that there's someone in your life who will help you. I'm speaking directly to anyone who feels the way that this person unfortunately did. Don't go this far. It doesn't have to happen that way. I've been around people that were suicidal, and it's come close with some of those people, and it doesn't have to be that way, because those people who came close are living happy, healthy lives now. Just a couple years later, just 6 months afterwards, they were doing all right. They were shining like the sunflowers. They were growing outside, guys. They were doing okay. Just because you feel down now, just because you feel out now, it doesn't mean it always has to be that way. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know if it has to do with Bitcoin or cryptocurrency or what. It doesn't matter. The point is that it will come to an end. You guys are going to be okay. And with that said, I want to go ahead and show you guys how you can hopefully avoid getting in the position that some of these people get into, where they lose a lot of money in Bitcoin, or they start panicking in Bitcoin, or unfortunately they go all the way. I want to talk about that to wrap the video up. If you're feeling like you're in a very bad mental state and you've already made a mistake, stop watching the video right now. This is for people that want to prevent this happening in the future. If you want to prevent it happening in the future and you think you can take this, because this will be a little bit of analysis of mistakes that you can make and how not to make them that may hurt for you, click off the video now if that's what you want. So with that said, let's talk about how you can avoid getting in this position where you become distraught. Now guys, there's a lot of ways you can do this. I was talking about this in the live stream last night, and I stopped talking about when I realized how serious this was, because I don't like talking about these things. I don't like talking about what people should have done when they've already made the mistake. It's no help telling someone, oh, well, you shouldn't have jumped off the bridge when they're sitting in the hospital with 4 broken bones. It's just not going to help them. It's going to make them feel even worse. That's why I was upset last night when you guys were berating that person who lost $10,000 and telling me that I shouldn't be comforting him. I should be criticizing him and telling him to do better. Certainly he should have done better, guys. He made a mistake. He did. I'm not excusing him. I want to be very clear in this video. I'm not saying that it was anyone else's fault. If he made a mistake, it's his mistake. If Bitfinex made a mistake, it's their mistake. If I made a mistake, it's my mistake. A man takes responsibility for his own actions. I don't know if my dad's watching this video, but that's something he taught me, and I will teach that to you guys as well. Take responsibility for your own actions, man or woman. You have to be able to do that, because if you can't take responsibility for your own actions, and you can't take extreme ownership, as Jocko Willink talks about, a former Navy SEAL of 20 years who trained half of the Navy SEAL training programs in the United States, if you can't take ownership for your own mistakes, then you're never going to advance. But that does have a time and place. It's most important that you get yourself in a stable, healthy mental state, and then you start taking ownership, and then you start saying, where did I screw up? Where could I have done better? Then you start doing that. Then you start taking ownership. Then you start taking responsibility. Then you start improving, and you don't make the same mistakes again. Here are some mistakes that you can make in cryptocurrency markets. Buying when the market is massively overbought. It's hard to tell when a Bitcoin bear market is coming to an end, but if everybody's getting into Bitcoin and the RSI on the daily chart is sitting up here at 93 on the weekly and sitting up here on the daily chart of 93 on the daily chart, if the RSI is that high, you shouldn't be buying. You're buying too high. You need to get a good deal. You need to wait for the breakouts. And I mean, that's all very basic fundamental analysis, guys, but here's what I really want to talk about. And forgive the less scripted nature of this video. I'm trying to just kind of speak from my heart. I didn't write video notes on this or anything. This is just kind of coming from within, I guess. Anyway, guys, the most important thing that you can do in the cryptocurrency space is this. If you're going to be trading and investing in cryptocurrency, if you take anything away from my channel, I don't care what you learn in the course. I don't care what you learn in any of the 550 nearly videos on this channel. I don't care if you tune into every single live stream, every single video. The most important thing that you can do to prevent stuff like this, I'm not saying that you're ever going to get there. I'm not saying that anyone watching this video is there. But to prevent you from getting to this point, if you do get yourself in trouble, here's how you can do it. Do not invest more money than you can afford to lose. Now, don't click off the video. I'm going to expand on that. I know you've heard that before, but I want you to understand just how important that is, because this kind of stuff happens from people either investing more than they had to lose or because they didn't take profits when they should have. Those two things, and security also. This person claims to have been hacked. That's a third thing, is security. You have to take those three things very seriously. Many of us in the cryptocurrency space have a lot of Bitcoin. We are not necessarily high worth individuals or anything, but a lot of us have a whole lot of Bitcoin, a whole lot of money in the cryptocurrency space, to the point where if we lose our Bitcoin, it doesn't just affect us. It affects the people in our community. It affects people around us. If you're not going to do the things I'm saying in this video, do it for yourself, do it for those in your community, do it for your family, do it for the people and your descendants who are going to need to rely on you and the money that you're making now. You need to be able to create generational wealth. If you make a bunch of money and you blow it all in your lifetime and there's none left over for your kids, then what was even the point? To prevent getting in that situation, what you need to do is when you go and invest money into Bitcoin in the cryptocurrency space, what you need to do is pretend like you pulled it out in cash. I just happen to have some cash here on my desk. What you need to do is pretend like you went and pulled that money out in cash. You took a lighter, you threw all the cash in a pile, and you lit it on fire and you watched it burn down to ashes. Before you invest a penny in cryptocurrency, pretend like every single dollar that you were going to invest, you just lit on fire. Let's say you have 100 grand in the bank. You got $5,000 a month coming in or whatever, and you want to invest 10 grand into Bitcoin. I need you to pretend like you're going to take $10,000 out of the bank, put it in a pile in the backyard, douse it in gasoline, set it on fire, and have a big beer pong party around it while it burns down to the ground. That's what I need you to pretend you're going to do. If you could do that, if you could burn that $10,000 and be perfectly fine, your lifestyle doesn't change a bit, you don't have to worry about money. If you can do that, and it doesn't change anything about your lifestyle, you just burn 10 grand, that is money that you can invest in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I have $500 sitting on my desk right here. I could light this on fire and it wouldn't change anything about my finances. I'd have $500 less money, but it wouldn't change my lifestyle. It would simply be $500 is gone. That is money that I feel safe about investing in Bitcoin. If you're going to invest in cryptocurrencies, do not invest more than you're willing to lose, guys. This is literally life and death that we're talking about here. I'm not saying that you're going to get there. I'm not accusing anyone. Please be very understanding here that that is not what I'm saying. I'm simply saying that, and I realize I'm probably going to get backlash for this video, but that doesn't really matter to me. The most important thing to me is not the success or failure of the channel. Is to, if this video prevents one person from taking their own life because of Bitcoin, then the entire channel can go up in flames for all I care. That's what's most important to me. If you're going to buy Bitcoin, you need to be able to pretend that you're going to take that money and set it on fire. If you're not doing that, you've invested too much. Well, the person who was talking about losing the $10,000 was talking about panicking. And when he was just starting and saying he was panicking, I started kind of giving my little lesson or whatever about how not to panic. And then when I realized the severity of it, I backed off. I said, no, wait a minute, guys. Now's not the time to be educating this guy. Now's not the time to be teaching this guy. Now's the time to be making sure this guy is okay mentally. But what I was saying to him before I backed off, because now we're in the portion of the video where I'm teaching you guys how not to get into this position, he was talking about panicking. And I was saying in the live stream last night, guys, that I never panic. I don't panic in the cryptocurrency market. I've never panicked over Bitcoin crashing as it relates to my portfolio. I remember when Bitcoin was crashing from $20,000 down here to $6,000, I was a little concerned about the market, and maybe you could call it panic. It wasn't really panic, but I was concerned about the market crashing because I had just started this YouTube channel and I was really excited for it, and then Bitcoin goes and crashes. That was concerning to me. But as far as my portfolio and my investments are concerned, I was never concerned about that, because from the minute I started investing in Bitcoin with large sums of money, I never once doubted that Bitcoin was going to be something great in the future. I never doubted it. I've always been 100% certain of that. That has never been a question in my mind, whether or not Bitcoin is going to be something spectacular in the future. And I wouldn't have invested in Bitcoin if I didn't believe that with all my heart. And guys, I don't plan on selling anytime soon. I have never sold a single Satoshi of Bitcoin, not one. If you were to go back on all of my personal accounts, all of my different exchange accounts I've had over the years, I've never sold a dime of cryptocurrency. So why would I panic when I know that 99% of history, Bitcoin has been profitable? Why would I panic when I know that any entry point that I could have ever gotten into will be a gain in a couple years from now? Why would I panic? And secondly, guys, if you're trading, I don't panic over my trades either. And the reason I don't panic over my trades is because I set the trades up so that they're either going to make profit, and statistically, they're always going to make profit. What I mean by that is that if I lose 50% of the time, but I make money 50% of the time. But when I make money, I make $2, and when I lose $1. Then statistically, 66% of the time, I'm going to make money. Now, you got to kind of figure out that ratio, but I don't have to panic over my trades, because if I keep making trades and I make sure they're always set up statistically that they're going to make money, and I just keep rolling with the averages like that, I'm going to make money. Also, I make sure I have tight stop losses, and I'm perfectly fine. I don't need to panic about trades. I'm not trading a massive amount of my trading portfolio in each trade. And also, guys, like I said, I already pretended like every dime I have in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency I set on fire. So guys, if you use what I've said here, be very careful with the amount of money that you invest in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and be very careful about how you invest that money in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. You're going to be okay. And for any of you guys who are feeling like what I'm terrified some of you guys were feeling like in 2018. I should have made this video in 2018, but I didn't. Now we're in a bull market, and it's probably not as affecting as many of you. But like I said, if it stops one person, it's worth it. If any of you are feeling like that, guys, there's a link in the description to a suicide prevention hotline. This is one that is recommended by everyone. This is a legit thing. If you're feeling like that, guys, please do me a favor, do your family a favor, do yourself a favor, do your parents a favor, do your community a favor, do the world a favor, and at least try to fight it. I've struggled with depression for a long time, guys. I'm out of it now. I'm doing really well now. But for a large part of my lifetime, guys, I was very depressed. And I know people that are still very depressed. But you know what? I also know people that were on the brink, and they're living happy, healthy, amazing lives now. So when people tell you that it's going to get better, I know it sounds cliched, but it's the truth. I've seen it happen. I've lived long enough to see it happen. I've lived long enough to see people who came this close, an inch from it, and they're fine. So guys, please, if you're feeling that way, reach out to someone. I don't want to see any more stories like this. I know I can't stop all of them, but hopefully we can stop one or two of them. Hopefully we can stop as many of them as we can. Guys, I want to build a community in the cryptocurrency of love and compassion and caring, but also of education and diligence and hard work and perseverance. We're not going to jeopardize those things for the sake of the former, but the former have to come first, because human lives are far more important than whatever we can learn in cryptocurrency and whatever money we can learn in this market. So guys, what I encourage you to do is that if someone is going through a hard time, make sure they are okay mentally and that they're not really far depressed or they're not really far under. I take mental health very seriously, guys. Make sure that they are okay and then start telling them, here's what you did wrong. Here's how you could have done better. Here's what you need to do in the future. Here's how not to have this happen again. Then after they're okay, then you start telling them that. But there is a very specific order to that. I don't think anyone in the comment section will, but if anyone starts just bad-mouthing people who are going through tough times like this, if anyone's being a jerk in the comment section, pretty much you're going to be just basically banned from commenting on the channel. So don't do that, please. I don't want to do that. I hate doing that. I really don't want to, guys, but this is a very serious topic, one that needs to be taken seriously and talked about more by the cryptocurrency space. I know it's taboo, and this video will probably get a lot of backlash. I may even get backlash from YouTube itself for this video, but like I said, guys, I really don't care. Anyway, guys, I guess that's going to do it for this video. Like I said, I didn't really plan out this video. I didn't have a structure for this video. I was just kind of venting and telling you guys how I felt from my heart. So hopefully this video helped you guys. Hopefully you learned something from the second half of this video. If you guys are in the camp that most of us are in, where we're just trying to learn and push forward. But if you guys are feeling bad, if you're feeling down, join the Discord server. There will be a link to that in the description. Actually, I'll leave a link to that in the description. There's a community over there, a very good community that's supporting people. If you check the community tab last night, we had some people in the Discord server, including myself, who wanted to reach out to this person in the live stream last night and make sure that they're okay, and then maybe try and help them with how they could have prevented that from happening in the future after we verified that they were okay and sound. Check the link in the description, and if you need anything, guys, reach out to the community. This is a great community that I'm trying to build, and cryptocurrency is too. I really look forward to what we're doing here for the next couple of years, guys. But that's going to do it for this video. I want to thank each and every single one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in hopefully a more upbeat video tomorrow. Peace.